Hello everybody, welcome to On the Bright Side. My name is Daniel, and I am watching Fate Apocrypha. Last time on Fate Apocrypha, we began the final battle. The black side is invading the Hanging Gardens to fight the red side without Mordred. Mordred's kind of, and Shishigo, they're their own team, who have some sort of plan. We began the first part of the battle in which we're getting to see some rematches, some grudge matches. We're fighting on top of these plains. It's pretty crazy. We got Achilles versus Chiron and Atalante versus Jean. And hopefully, while all that is happening, Astolfo's noble phantasm can break through the Hanging Gardens' magical defenses. And then we'll have to see what happens after that. Maybe that's when Mordred's gonna come swooping in and change some stuff. But I'm very excited because I feel like we're getting into some of the best battles in the show. But that remains to be seen. Alright, if you guys are excited for more Fate Apocrypha, then you should subscribe and hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss a single episode going forward. Alright, let us begin episode 21, Scorpio Shot. In 3, 2, 1, go. The title is...
Heaven's Feel.
Yeah. And achieve salvation of humanity somehow. Using the real names. Wow. Yep. My master's in a safe place, hopefully. Man, it's all about the Greek legends today. We just gotta dodge all these lasers. No! Tonight I'm special. Astolfo, you're special every night. Hell yeah. Oh, you'll see. Oh no! It's the tri-beam! Oh, no, read faster. Hurry, please. Hurry, please! Okay. Can never be overconfident in a Holy Grail war. Astolfo's all like, yes! Get fucked! So it just gives us basically like max resistance. We're in Dragon Ball right now. Nice. Yeah, you have any? Uh-oh. That's two. But if Lancer's coming... Fucking so cool. Oh? Is that an illusion? Oh, you just teleport! At least someone's given Astolfo. God damn. Very cool. Meanwhile... so that's the plan, we get in there. Get the, see if either of you have chances here. 5? How many are there? His powers are bullshit. Yeah. Like I thought. Oh, he'll come after you if you transform. I'll do my best. Did you miss me? Yeah. Unfortunately, your second. Oh my god! Starting off already. Oh my god! Ooh. Yeah, good luck. Now Astolfo gets free reign. My head hurts! How dare you call Astolfo a clown? Ooh. Ow! Cool. Just got one more. Come on. Ah, man, please don't let this be the end, Astolfo. Oh, there goes the hippogriff at least. Ugh, ow. Oh shit! Thank you, Saber, for saving Astolfo. Holy shit. Man, these episodes are hype. What does that mean? Oh my god. What? We're talking about. Did you just like stop time? Okay. This is a crazy power. Yeah, I love these two. Nice place for a battle. Oh shit. Oh. Alright, here we go. I was about to be like a little disappointing that it's hand to hand, and then nope. Holy shit. Ooh. I love how it doesn't feel like there's like ill will here. Stronger. Oh my god. Ugh. It's like these types of moments where all the budget's been saved for. Chiron's really good at a lot of these throws. Okay. Oh, my god. Damn, having that scarf liability. You missed. Yeah, counter. Oh my god. Jesus. Is that the finishing blow? I did predict that Chiron would win. Color me surprised.
決闘に応じたはずでは。
そういえばそうでした。あなたは私を倒し、
That's the big
これから
question
どうするの
at
で
this
すか。
point.
残された我が陣営にあなたの宝具を貸してはもらえませんか。
無理を言わな。言うな。
果たしても良いでしょう。
Yeah, come on.
考えておき
You're
ます。
honorable.
サーバントとしての最後の務めを果たすとしましょう。空に浮かぶいて座、
Hello?
神明を発動させる必要すらない。なぜなら矢はすでに放たれているからです。
Hello? Holy shit. Ooh, is Achilles.
我が確かに剥奪させてもらいましたよ。
There you go. Not kill you, but you're no longer immortal. That is a crazy noble phantasm. Is that the one he used against Adam? Because we never got that explained, I felt. But
どうか最後の教え子である
damn.
あの子たちが夜空の星のように輝きますように。
Oh man, I'm glad we didn't lose Astolfo and Chiron in the same episode. But man, Chiron hurts. He is a good one. Yes, you're still yelling at me.
きっと小殺しめ。あの子たちは殺人鬼などではない。断じてだ。あなたの言う通り、私は小殺しなのでしょう。そして今、あなたも。
And now I'm about to be a cat girl
異論は
killer.
ないか。私は貴様を殺す。それはカリドーンの魔獣の顔。
What does this
貴
mean?
様を倒さずして何が正義か、何が英雄か。英雄であることまで知ってるつもりですか。知れたことよ。
Oh god. Well.
ホーグ、アグリオスメタモローゼ。
Uh-oh. Is she gonna become more of a lion? Oh my god. Uh-oh. That was crazy. After credits ain't. I never miss one. Good morning.
何が起こったの。
A plane.
大丈夫かな。
Uh,
赤のライダー。
お前に託すものがある。
oh?
黒のライダー。
Yeah, it's a big question of what he's gonna do next. Alright, everyone. That was Fate Apocrypha. Episode 21. That was a crazy episode. I am a little bit, I think about these things a little bit while I'm watching, about what's gonna be my thumbnail. And I'm like, fuck. They made Astolfo have a great moment. And I haven't used Astolfo at all in any of my thumbnails, so I'm like, oh, here's my chance. But then there's also Chiron, who I don't believe I've used in a thumbnail either, as like, okay, I guess I have to use both of them. That was a really good episode. I am glad I'm right and that we're like getting into some of the better fights of the show. Not that there haven't been good fights up until this point, but it just feels like with the like finality of the show approaching, we're getting more epic moments. I think the biggest fight in this episode was obviously Achilles versus Chiron. That was some crazy hand-to-hand combat animation. I'm not going to remember the name of the combat style that they use, but is it a real Greek like martial arts style? And if so, does anyone know if they animated it like accurately? It seemed it was really cool the way that they animated it. You know, when you see these like super powered beings going hand to hand, that's always a fun thing. I really enjoyed that fight. It was pretty well animated, although it was animated in a very like kind of freeform way where like they didn't really try to be on model a whole lot, but it was just like it's such a cool set piece. First of all, I didn't know Achilles had the ability to just stop time. I thought like for a second that he was like activating a reality marble. But I don't think it's what he did was exactly the same. Chiron described it as overriding the rules of the world. So it's in the same dimension. Whereas reality marbles take you to like another dimension. This just like kept it in the same, but he just he just made it so that, like, there's no time here. We can let loose. And Chiron and Achilles had a very fun relationship that we haven't really seen in any other Fate series. Like, we've had servants that have known each other before. For example, in Fate Zero, there was Saber, who had known Lancelot. But that was kind of a whole different beast, because Lancelot had been not a very fun version of Lancelot. It had been one where he'd been overcome by madness. Saber having to defeat Berserker in that series more just like added to Saber's want to erase her rule. So not a good interaction. But this interaction, they were both of like sound mind. They were able to kind of like show each other through this combat like how much they've, you know, Achilles showing Chiron how much he's grown, and Chiron being proud of that, as well as Chiron being able to fully let loose and showing Achilles maybe how much more he has to learn. Because while Achilles did pull off a successful counter, he was on the back foot for a lot of that fight. I gotta say, I am surprised, because I predicted that Achilles would lose because Chiron knows his weakness. And in his last action, he did remove his immortality by exploiting that weakness. So I have a question. Unless I misinterpreted something or I've already forgotten something from the episode's called Scorpio Shot. Why? Didn't Chiron use the power of Sagittarius? Because Sagittarius is the, when I think of constellations, the one associated with a bow, with a centaur, which we didn't get to see Chiron on his majestic horse legs. Sad. But why was it Scorpio Shot, the name of the episode? It's just it's an interesting choice to me. Maybe they called it that because if they called it Sagittarius Shot, you'd be like, oh, Chiron's dying this episode. Where Scorpio just is kind of like, well, there's a lot of Greek characters, so. And speaking of, Atalante is undergoing a transformation, so that's fun. She's getting more bestial. It looks like she lost some clothes, so that's, you know, that's great. But, so the other big thing that was happening this episode was Astolfo using that noble phantasm that that is able to nullify the blasts from. I guess it's not able to be used indefinitely, which is why the hippogriff had to be sacrificed there. But I was really worried that Astolfo was going to die. If anyone deserves to win, I think it's Sieg and Astolfo. But you know, we'll see. Because Astolfo's woken up next to Achilles. Has some plans now. Maybe their mind has been changed by their battle with Chiron, but we'll see. But luckily, Astolfo was saved twice by Sieg taking on Karna, which becoming Siegfried to do it, which we didn't really get to see where that went, and I'm sure we will. But where did they go? I guess they're on the Hanging Gardens, but that's a rematch. So I've been eagerly awaiting to see it again. But Sieg's not messing around. But Astolfo was also saved by Saber crashing the plane. I knew Saber was gonna crash the plane. That's the Mordred way of doing things. So that means that if they're trying to steal the Holy Grail, that means that Shishigo probably ejected and is going straight for Shiro. Which, if my prediction goes as I think it will, that means that there'll be like 3 masters at the same place with Shishigo, Shiro, and Sieg. I have to see who gets that wish. Again, I kind of wouldn't mind if Shishigo did actually win, but just because I think he's kind of cool. But he hasn't given me any reason to dislike him, I guess. Besides the fact that maybe desecrates graves? And obviously, because he's a mage, so he's probably killed a lot of people. I opened this discussion by talking about thumbnails, and I was thinking about it a little bit more through the discussion. I'm like, which characters have shown up the most in my thumbnails? And I think the character to show up the most is Chiron, which I think kind of shows a little bit of my bias, because I think he's a pretty interesting character. Maybe I just think he's, like, the most plot important, but, like, Mordred has shown up a couple times as well, but I can think of at least 4 thumbnails that Shiro's in. I can only think of 3 that Mordred is in. You know, it's just kind of like Shiro is a very interesting character, being a ruler from a previous Holy Grail War that is just stuck around and and actually, like, getting close to making their dream a reality. Forgive me if I show some bias with that. Which is why I want to use the fact that we're having all these fights in this latter part of the show to showcase some of the other characters. But I think I have to do Astolfo and Chiron for this one, because man, they both really showed that they're worthy to be here. I mean, that mainly goes for Astolfo, because everyone has been like, Astolfo's weak, and yes, he is more weak than a lot of the other servants, but Astolfo deserves to be here. And I like that everyone that has seen Astolfo's, like, true power has been like, wow, you really are a hero. And Chiron, we already know he deserves to be here. He's been a really nice character, really kind of acting like the older brother, the dad of basically this whole group. He's been a good moral compass, and I think it shows because he's, you know, a good moral figure in Greek myth. A lot of the heroes that got summoned, you can point to some actions that they've done and be like, that's kind of questionable. But Chiron, you'd kind of find it hard to point to something that he's done and be like, oh, that's kind of bad. But at least he went out in an epic way, which, of course, every character that has made it to this point has to go out in an epic fashion. Except maybe Semiramis, because no one likes her. At least in the show. Outside of the show, I don't know. I don't hear many fans of Semiramis. If you're a Semiramis fan, let me know in the comments. Also, just leave a comment if you... let me know what you thought about this episode and my reaction. If you did like it, let me know by leaving a like and subscribe. Hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss the next episode of Fate Apocrypha. And with all that being said, I hope that I can make your day better, and I hope that you continue to have good days. Till next time, take it easy, everyone.